Hello and welcome everyone to Pandora Tarot. These are the readings for the month of September. As I always say, please remember to check your rising and your moon sign as well as your sun sign so you get a full picture of the energies that are available to each and every one of you throughout the month of September. For those of you who are interested in astrology, September is a really important month. The energies are shifting. It's eclipse month. There are two actually. One is lunar and one is solar eclipse. So do check your favorite YouTube astrologer because September really is a month where all the energies that we have been feeling up until this moment in the year will shift into something much more positive. So do check them out. And of course, if you would like a private reading, you can contact me at pandorastarot@gmail.com. The information is in the box below this video, so you can just copy paste from there. Okay, so I will see you again at each of every one of your readings. And of course, I always say thank you for spending your time with me, for commenting and subscribing and sharing and liking. So thank you for being a part of this community. Okay, let's move on to the readings. Welcome back to your September reading, Aquarius. Let's jump in and just focus on your cards that we have in front of us. In the challenge position, we have a card that usually doesn't show up in my readings, so this is interesting. And it hasn't shown up in any of the other readings, so it feels like you have your own energy this month. You're kind of doing your own thing, which is kind of really an Aquarian thing to do. We have the Four of Swords, and this is a card that talks about taking a time out, resting. It might be talking about a time of recuperation after illness or some kind of surgery. Also, the swords could represent a scalpel, something like that. If that's the case, it's great that the energy of the month allows you to take a break. Okay, it's not like you're going to be in bed but at the same time having to deal with a lot of things. It's kind of like the energy of the month is quite peaceful, or quiet. Not so much peaceful, I would say quiet. It's not all a lot of buzz around you, and that's a good thing because it feels like you definitely need it. This is a card for those of you who are healthy and they're not going through any health issues. This is a card that talks about also meditation. So this could be a good month to take on this, because if you're going through a lot of stress, taking some time for yourself is really important. And being the swords is your element, is the element of air, Aquarius. It means that you need to rest your mind. Okay, in any way this comes up for each and every one of you, you need to rest your mind in this month of September. Okay, and not only this represents meditation, a way of alleviating stress, it's also a card that invites us to focus, to meditate on a specific matter. And I think you have something you're thinking about, and a situation that you realize you need to solve, but you're not quite sure how. But we'll see about this in the next cards. We have in the center of the reading a great card. I don't believe this has come up for any other signs as well this month. The Ten of Cups. This is a card that it's the highest happiness card that the tarot can give us. It's a card that represents happiness with our family. Okay, this is a happy family who is very grateful for what they have, for whatever they have achieved. This is also a place of nourishment, because they are in a land that is green and we have the water. So this time out that you're going to take, Aquarius, you're going to take it with your family. You're going to reconnect with your family. So perhaps if you have been working a lot, you will start to spend more time with your family. Also, there is a situation here that you have to address. So it does feel like this time out will be like taking a step back so you can look at the situation, and while you make up your mind, you spend time with your family. You allow them to nourish you. Okay, it's like it's going to be a month for you to recharge your batteries, okay? Because it clearly has been a situation that has been draining you, but let's talk about that right now. We have in the position of the things you have to accept the Two of Swords, again your element, and the Two of Swords talks about being at a crossroads where we have to make a decision, but we cannot make it because our mind is telling us to do one thing, our intuition is telling us to do another one, and maybe our heart is telling us another thing, you know. So we are at a crossroad. There is a symbol that is very strong here. The woman has the swords, which is the element that represents the mind, crossed over her heart. So, and behind her we have the water that represents the emotions, and the moon that represents her intuition. So there is a disconnect here. It feels like your head is on one side and your heart is on another one, you know. So this timeout is absolutely necessary for you to reconnect with yourself and reconnect with those who really nourish you. Okay, now that is the way for you to actually be able to move forward from this. And the help you're going to receive, this is very interesting. We have a not so positive card. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Now let's talk about this card. This is a group of people that does not get along well at all. Okay, this is not a group dynamic that is healthy. It could be a group of people that are very creative and very passionate about what they're trying to do, but they're also, their egos are really big. Okay, and there's a lot of fighting, a lot of anger involved in this. So this is not a healthy environment. Not only because there's a lot of fighting, but also because with this group of people, it feels like they're feeding off the energy of fights. Okay, it's like they like being in a fight because that way, you know, if they know their enemy, then it's kind of like it defines them, and in that way, so they need the energy of the adversary, so they know who they are. You know, I'm the person who's fighting against this. Okay, so they're always defining themselves, not only through perhaps a negative thing, but also through a violent assessment. So overall, this is a negative group that really doesn't, they're not building something positive. Actually, they feed off destruction in a way. And the thing is that these two are completely different energies. They're the complete opposite. And once you take a step back and spend some time with your family, with this really nourishing group of people, I think that it will even make the difference. It will mark a big difference with this group of people, you know. I think you already know that whatever is going on in this group is not healthy, and you need to make a decision about that, whether or not you want to continue to be a part of this. But you're not able to make a decision about this group of people. So you take a time out and you spend time with your family and those who are near and dear to you and that nourish you, like I said before. And once you do, you realize by contrast that, whoa, this is really not healthy. Okay, so it's one of those times when, you know, that saying that says sometimes we need to, in order to go forward, we need to take a step back. It's that situation. This is not a month for you to take action. Actually, this is a month for you to study the situation, to compare and contrast. Okay, and it will actually pay off. You know. So sometimes Aquarians have a lot of energy, so at some point you might feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Actually, you are. Okay, by studying the situation and analyzing the situation, you will be doing something very important. And it will pay off because in the final card we have the only major arcana card that you have, the Judgment. And Judgment is a card that announces good news coming your way. Okay, this is an angel announcing the good news are that the bad times are about to be over, that the purgatory is about to end for the people here. Okay, so in a way, you know, it might even feel like not only you receive a good news, like perhaps this is in some way you find a way to solve the situation, but it could be that you even confront them and say, you know, you end up being like the angel here and saying, you know what, we're gonna fix this, we're gonna talk this over, we're gonna do this, this, and this, so this fighting time, this purgatory time can come to an end. Okay, or it could be that you receive someone else's help, you know. But usually when the judgment card comes in, it means that we are receiving, we are at the receiving end of the good news. So this nourishment with your family, Aquarius, could be that you end up talking with someone in your family who allows you to see things from a different point of view, who gives you a bit of information that ends up turning into a good news, that gives you perhaps a tactic or a technique with dealing with this situation, this group of people. Okay, so overall, it's a month, like I said before, to study the situation. Don't jump and try to fix it right away, and don't resist taking a step back, okay, and taking a time out, because it does feel like you really need it. And like I said before, this is not a card that has come up for any of the other signs. So you really are dealing with your own set of energies in this month of September. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you for spending your time with me, Aquarius. I'll see you next month. Take care.